Mm.
is Neander Wallace, and his angel, his replicant. I'm not even sure if it's Nexus 10. He doesn't even say it, but she's super advanced,
Yeah.
beautiful, cruel, cunning, smart, equipped. But they together, I think, struggle with the consequences of Genesis 3 in a
Mm.
similar but slightly different way as the replicants in the first Blade Runner, and they behave like the rebels of the Tower of Babel. And so you see a core theme in Blade Runner, the original, is in general about humanity wrestling with God and with the curse of death, right? Being separated from the tree of life. Roy Beatty in the original had a problem with death, and that's why he seeks out his very disappointing creator in his eyes. And so like that might be represented by Genesis 3:19. By the sweat of your face you shall eat bread till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken, for you are dust, and to dust you shall return. And so it's from life under the sun, separated from God. It's a life of toil, of slavery, which is the metaphoric connection for all the replicants, and death, which was what Beatty was trying to overcome. Blade Runner 2049, however, addresses, I think, the curse of Eve, which is 2 verses earlier. In Genesis 3:16, I guess it's 3 verses earlier, 3:16, not 3:19, it says, to the woman he said, I will surely multiply your pain in childbearing, or conception is a way you can translate that. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be for your husband, but he shall rule over you. And so we have this line, I will multiply your pain in... The Bible Project has helped me out with this. It's really, the word really is connected to conception more than childbearing, that first word there. And so what has unlocked this for me, this verse is... Mother's Day last year, I studied this, and you realize that Genesis 3:16 actually portrays almost all the women in the rest of the book of Genesis. They all struggle to conceive, and they struggle to find love of their husbands. And these are the struggles of Wallace and Love, respectively. Wallace struggles with the problem of procreation, even though he's not a woman, and Love struggles to help him and to earn his approval. So you have like Rachel, one of her issues in the Bible, the biblical Rachel, is competing with other women for the affections of her husband and for the glory of having brought him a child. And so we even see Wallace quotes this. Genesis 33:22, it says, and God remembered Rachel, heeded her, and opened her womb. And it's deeply biblical stuff.
Yeah, well, and that's what you call some amazing narrative providence, right? Because there's no way, nobody's even claiming that they had this idea planned in 1982, but they named her Rachel, right? How beautiful is that then he can quote, and that's the whole idea, right? Rachel's womb is opened, this supposed to be barren replicant woman, and yet, like you were saying, and even though it's biblically connected as much to conception more than just the giving birth part, but then I mean she dies,
but it
giving
is
birth.
Pain in childbirth, and she dies. That's her struggle.
It's so crazy that it's one of those things where I believe there's a sovereign God, even when it comes to things like the arts. It's like what a beautiful moment.
I think so.
That somebody just randomly named the character Rachel, and then years later they came up both with the pregnancy thing, but also then even had a biblical depth to go to and quote in the movie to give it this miraculous kind of resonance that hopefully if a Christian misses that, like, okay, read your Bible, just start Genesis, get back there.